welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my trip when I went out to Boston, Massachusetts. This is actually my third time out to Boston, so I felt like really familiar with the city by now. I know a lot of cool restaurants to go to. I feel like I can navigate myself around the city really well. Boston is my absolute favorite city. That's why I keep going back every single year. One of my best friends just moved to Boston, so that's why I went out there before Christmas time, was to go visit her. There were a couple things that were closed down because of COVID, but for the most part everything is still open. We had a really good time and I filmed a little bit of it, so I just wanted to do a voiceover of some of the places that I saw and kind of show you around the city and show you why I love it so much out there. It's so pretty. So yeah, come along with me. The first place that I went to was the Atlantic Fish Company. This is my third time eating at this restaurant. If you want really good seafood, this is where you need to go. Here's me just saying hi. And the next day I went out and I took a walk. My friend lives on Beacon Street, which is right next to Newbury Street. Beacon Street is more of just these beautiful apartments, and Newbury Street, which is right next door, has super nice shops. They have really nice restaurants, so you definitely have to go to this area. The Boston Public Library is pretty close to Newbury Street. I wasn't able to visit only because it was closed because of COVID. And you gotta get yourself some Dunkin' Donuts. And here's the Capitol building. I took a tour in here and it's amazing. Next stop, I went to the north end of Boston. This is one of my favorite areas. It's just full of amazing restaurants. It's super pretty. My personal favorite restaurant in the north end is called Regina's, which is a little hole in the wall pizza place, but I really recommend going between 2 and 5 o'clock because it's going to be less crowded during that time. That's when my family and I went and ate there. When we came out, it was around 5 o'clock, dinner, and there was a huge wait to get in. It's an amazing, delicious pizza place, so make sure you check that out. But there's super cute cafes that I ate at in the north end, and it's just super pretty, super cute. A lot of good Italian restaurants as well. And it was a Sunday, so of course I had to go to church, and I went to church in the north end. This was a very beautiful mass, and I just want to show you the inside of the church because it was just absolutely beautiful. So even if you're not Catholic, make sure that you come check this church out just to look at it because it is so pretty. And pretty churches always help me just have a better prayer life, I feel and get in the mood of really being in the presence of Jesus. And just take a look at this view. For one thing I love about Boston is the huge skyscrapers, but also the really old buildings. My friend and I decided to take the Boston T to get to our next stop. It's pretty easy to use. It's the subway station. We ended up visiting the Isabella Gardner Museum. Isabella Gardner is a real person. She collected all of these beautiful pieces of art from all around the world, and she ended up building this museum, which is actually a palace to store her art. So it was awesome to see her artwork, but also just seeing how beautiful the building is as well. There's also an episode of the Isabella Gardner Museum on drunk history. So after we went to the Isabella Gardner Museum, my friend and I watched the episode. But make sure you check this place out. I just want to show you some more videos because I took so many pictures of what this place looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous. And later at night, we went to the beautiful neighborhoods that are around Acorn Street, and we took a walk. We made sure that we got some Starbucks, some hot cocoa, and we walked around, and it was Christmas time, so that's why you see a lot of Christmas decorations. But just walking around Boston is so fun because it's just beautiful there. Literally most of my trip was just me walking around. And here's Acorn Street. This is so pretty. I want to show you another shot of it at daytime, but it's so pretty, and I actually have a picture frame of Acorn Street inside of my room because that's how much I love it. And here's my cute little friend posing on Acorn Street. Good morning, everybody. I am in Boston right now with one of my best friends. She's at work right now, so I just have the day to go do like whatever I want. Two of the places I wanted to go to are actually closed because they're considered a library, and because libraries are open during this time because of COVID, I can't go. So I think I am going to this cute little cafe called Tate, and then afterwards I'm probably gonna go down and do some shopping. And this is my third time to Boston. I'm so happy, and I know my way around like pretty well now, so I feel really comfortable with where I'm going, and I'm so thankful for my friend for just letting me stay here with her. So I'm gonna walk around and take you with me today wherever I go. So we'll see how this goes. The next day I went back to that same area and I just took a walk. I made sure that I went to Tate Bakery, which is a pretty popular cafe. There's a couple around Boston. So I grabbed a coffee and took a walk. So this is Acorn Street. The car is kind of blocking the view, but it's so pretty. Next I went to this floral shop and it wasn't open, so I couldn't go in. But it's pretty famous. And then I also took a little walk to the Brattle bookshop, which I'm sure you've also seen like pictures of this, and it's a pretty famous like bookstore like nationwide. I think like I heard of it before like I even went to Boston for the first time. And there's an indoor portion and an outdoor. After this I walked through the financial district. There isn't like a ton of things to do in this area. I kind of got lost because I just decided to go like a different way than I was used to, so really there is nothing there. And then this little archway is right next to the aquarium, so it's a cute place to take pictures. Also make sure that you go whale watching in the summer, because that was one of my favorite experiences, was going whale watching, and we actually saw like a ton of whales. One of the best experiences I seriously have ever had. We went whale watching through the aquarium, so make sure you go with them. And this is Quincy Market. There's a ton of shops surrounding it, and then inside Quincy Market are all these like really cool, almost like farmers market little stands with like amazing food. And you couldn't like sit and eat in Quincy Market because of COVID. And then look how pretty this is. I decided to walk the Freedom Trail. And this is the Union Oyster House. I've never ate there, but it's a pretty famous restaurant. The Freedom Trail looks like this, and it takes you all throughout the historic places in Boston. If you've never been to Boston, this is the #1 thing I recommend you doing, because it really gives you an idea of the layout of the city. And it's kind of like the Yellow Brick Road, where you just get to like follow this trail and it takes you to all the like really cool spots. Here's like a really cool place that you can take another photo, because I know I'm really into taking those really cool like Instagram shots. And there's Paul Revere. Another thing I love about Boston is just like the amazing history. So this is called the Skinny House, and they built the house just out of spite for their neighbor. So this is also along the Freedom Trail. This is what it's going to look like along the Freedom Trail when you stop at a historic spot. And this is one of the many cemeteries where there's actually like a lot of famous people buried in a lot of those cemeteries. And there's little like parks throughout Boston, like this one. And I didn't really spend a whole lot of money when I went to Boston, because most of what I did was just outside walking around. It was so pretty. And of course, I had to visit Beacon Hill, which is also along the Freedom Trail. So historical, so cool. Climbing to the top is super difficult, so be prepared if you want to do that. place where all the saints pictures are inside of there. I couldn't go in because the door was locked, but they have every single picture of a Catholic saint inside of there. And this place is called Citrus and Salt. It was a brand new restaurant that I haven't been to before, but I saw it like all over Pinterest, so my friend and I decided to go. It was super cute. If you like taking pictures, this was like a really cool place to take those pictures. We had really good food, really good drinks. My favorite thing that I had here was the swordfish tacos, and they were good. I'm not like a huge fan of swordfish, but now I know. We also went to the Boston Commons, which is like a beautiful, huge park. There's a lot more people here in the summertime. And we sat on the same bench as Good Will Hunting, where that huge talk takes place. And of course, at night, we watched a ton of Disney and a ton of animal documentaries because we love that. I hope you liked my video. A lot of what I did on this trip was just like walk outside. You can literally walk anywhere. I think Boston is even nicknamed like the walking city, which is really cool. On this trip, I stayed with one of my best friends, so I had like a free place to stay. But when my family and I went out to Boston, we stayed at the Lenox, which was a very, very nice hotel. It was right next to the Boston Public Library. Check out my Instagram just for like a couple other places that I took pictures of. Another like really cool thing that you can do is go into Salem. You can actually take the train into Salem. I think it's just like a 30-minute train ride. I've been to Salem twice. Cannot talk about how much I love Boston enough. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.